Imagine if you woke up one morning and turned on your faucet and you saw water like this coming out of it. You'd probably be pretty shocked. Well, back in 2014, that actually happened in the city of Flint, Michigan. I myself am a resident of Saginaw, Michigan, which is a neighboring city to it, and I have personal friends and coworkers who were directly affected by this Flint water crisis. The Flint water crisis of 2014 caused a complete upheaval for all residents, and it was caused by a series of bad decisions and poor leadership that ended up having irreplaceable, very costly repercussions for all the residents of Flint, Michigan. Today I'd like to explore what the Flint water crisis was and how it began, the toll it took on the people of Flint, Michigan, and then finally take a look at where it is today and what progress has been made. According to Melissa Denchik of the National Resource Defense Council in 2018, the Flint, Michigan decided to transfer getting its water source from the Detroit River to the Flint River in a cost savings measure that would save them millions of dollars. Melissa Denchik of the National Resource Defense Council in 2018 also reported that once the transition to the Flint River occurred, residents began complaining of foul-smelling, off-colored, off-tasting water that was later found out to be caused by the lead pipes. If you refer to slide 2 and 3, you can see a picture of both the Flint River, and then you can see a picture of actual lead pipes from Flint, Michigan. Denchik also reported that this issue occurred because of inadequate testing of the water initially, and this was later found to be a huge issue because they should have tested it right off the bat. Later, in an article by Jay Shelson in the Defense Council Journal in 2016, it was reported that the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality made a decision that the water did not need to be treated initially, and this was later found to be proven incorrect. It did need to be treated. If you look at slide 4, this best represents how poor this decision was when you see the color of that water coming into that white bowl. Now that we have an idea of what the crisis was, let's take a look at the toll that it took on the people of Flint, Michigan. Ron Fonger of Michigan Live reported in 2016 that there was an estimated 90 people who became ill from the water, and there were 12 fatalities from the water itself. According to Kayla Rubel in a Frontline article in 2019, the city of Flint paid an estimated $22,000 a day for bottled water for its residents. Later, in an article in the Cable News Network in 2016, it was reported that the Flint local government transitioned to the Flint River as a water source on April 25, 2014. It then made a formal announcement August 14, 2014 about a potential bacterium, then lifted that 6 days later, and then made no other announcement about this issue until October 16, 2015 when they announced they were going to transfer off of the Flint River. Now that we've seen the toll that this took on the people of Flint, let's take a look at where this is today, where this crisis is today. In an article in the NRDC by Melissa Denchik in 2016, it was reported that the governor of Michigan announced the city of Flint would no longer be providing bottled water to its residents. Denchik also reported that many citizens were still receiving water from lead pipes, though they had transferred to a better water source for water. The sensitivity of the Flint residents was reported as being far higher, and the city of Flint claimed it was replacing all lead pipes and planned to be complete by 2020. In an article by Jay Shelson in 2016 titled Lead in the Water, the Flint residents shared a sentiment that they fear that Michigan may shirk its responsibility to make long-term, expensive fixes, and the world now has permission to stop paying to their ongoing water problems. Today we've taken a brief look at what the Flint water crisis was and how it affected the people. We explored how it began, we looked at the toll it took on the people, and then finally we took a look at the progress and where it is today. Whether you look towards the past or the future, it is extremely apparent with this example that it's a prime example of governmental oversight and more concern for profitability than the people they're supposed to serve. The people in charge in Flint, Michigan, been more concerned for their people, there would have been no deaths and no people getting ill. And I think we can all learn a lesson from that.